Thank you,
Thank you, Leah.
Miss Dwi. Start with the greetings first. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Parallel Session 4 of the 7th International Language and Language Teaching Conference. Right now, you're in room 5 with me, Tia. I'm a 5th semester student of Sanata Dharma University for the English Language Education Study Program, to be exact. And today, I will be in charge of this session. But before we begin, let me read out some rules for you, so please pay attention. First, each presentation will last for 15 minutes. To the presenters, when there's 5 minutes left, I'm going to inform you through the chat box or through the audio so that you can finish your presentation in time. Second, in this parallel session, there will be 3 presentations delivered in a row. They will be delivered by Miss Marcelina Hastia Haninda, Miss Patricia Natasha Rea, and Miss Clara Susanto, along with Miss Anissa Agra Inggitachna. The third, we will have a question and answer session after all presentations have been delivered. Later, I will send you the format for sending questions on the chat room. Fourth, other rules can be found in the program book. So as I said before, there are 3 presentations in this room. Without any further ado, let us begin with the first one, entitled An Analysis of Maxim in the World's Greatest Collection of Clean Jokes by Bob Phillips. This presentation will be delivered by Miss Marcelina Hastia Haninda from Sanata Dharma University. Miss Marcelina, you have 15 minutes. The time is yours.
Okay, thank you for the time. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes, Miss Marcelina.
Okay, before I start this presentation, let me introduce myself first. My name is Marcelina Steinmuller. I'm from Sanata Dharma University. Today, I would like to present about my research entitled An Analysis of Maxim in the World's Greatest Collection of Clean Jokes by Bob Phillips. So these are the things that I would like to present today. Why did I choose this research? Because, as you know, jokes are used to make other people laugh and can be found in every resources. And in this presentation, jokes or other kinds of humorous texts can have interesting insights, especially in pragmatic perspective in maxim of conversation point of view. In this research, I proposed one question, which is what kind of maxim of conversation applied in jokes in the world's greatest collection of clean jokes by Bob Phillips. Before I start further, let me explain about the pragmatics. So Levinson in 1983 and Euler in 1996 states that pragmatics is a study of utterances, meaning between the speaker and the hearer. It can be defined as a study about contextual meaning based on the conversation. And then from the maxims, Grieche in 1975 states that maxim is principles guiding the conversational interactions of both speakers and hearers. Grieche explained about define maxim into 4, which are the first one is maxim of quality, which address honesty in conversation. The second one is maxim of quantity, which the information should be informative as possible. And then the third one is maxim of relevance, which the information should be relevant. And then the fourth one is maxim of manner, which the information should be brief and orderly to avoid ambiguity. In doing the research, I use qualitative research, especially in content analysis. And for the data collection, I use the world's greatest collection of clean jokes by Bob Phillips. In the book, there are 5 chapters, namely Adam and Eve, airplanes, army and policies, boat and barbers. Uh, to conduct the research in analyzing it, the first one, sorry, uh, the first one is I mark the those contents of conversation, which I found there are 14 conversation-based jokes. And then I identify the jokes, and then I classify it, the data that has been selected, and then I analyze it to what maximum of conversation they are, and then the last one is make conclusion. In the finding, I found that there are 2 jokes refer to the maximum of quantity, 5 jokes refer to the maximum of quality, 4 jokes refer to the maximum of relevance, and 3 jokes refers to the maximum of manner. In this discussion, I would like to present to you guys about my analysis for maxims. The first one is maxim of quantity. I found it in the chapter 1 about Adam and Eve. So I analyze it that Adam answers what he knows about the situations because Adam and Eve are the only people who live in the earth. And then for the maxim of quality, I found it also in the chapter 1 about Adam and Eve. I analyze it into maxim of quality because student gave honest answer because Adam is the first human on earth. And then for the maxim of relevance, I analyze it, I found it in the chapter 3 entitled Army and Police. So I analyze into maximum of relevance because the conversation shows that a new soldier paid attention to the orders that were given by his senior. The new soldier already gives exact reason why a big army car cannot pass even though there is a general seated as a passenger. Moreover, the big army car does not have sticker on the windshield. And then the last one is maxim of manner. I found it in the chapter 1. So I analyzed it into maxim of manner because if gave brief information that there were no other animals should be called as rhinoceros. That animal was the first animal that they met. Okay. I conclude that there are 14 jokes found in this book, and then these 14 jokes contain all maxim of conversation, which are maxim of quality, maxim of quantity, maxim of relevance, and the last is maxim of manner. The highest percentage found in this research is maxim of quality, which is 36%, and then the lowest percentage is maximum of quantity, which is 14%. Yep, I think that's all for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Marcelina, for the interesting presentation. That was really nice. Makes me curious about the book. I'm definitely going to read that later. So let's have a big round of applause for Miss Marcelina. And then let's move on to our next presentation entitled Development of Web-Based Learning to Teach English as a Foreign Language. This presentation will be delivered by Miss Patricia Natasha Rea from Sanata Dharma University. Miss Patricia, you have 15 minutes. The time is yours.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Tia, for this great opportunity. Good morning, everyone. I'm so glad to be here today, and I thank you for this great opportunity. Let me introduce myself first. My name is Patricia Natasha Rea. I am a student from Sanata Dharma University. Today, I would like to share my paper entitled Development of Web-Based Learning to Teach English as a Foreign Language. This paper will be divided into 4 sections. The first one is introduction, theoretic review, discussion, and conclusion. Now let us move to the introduction part. Well, discussing about technology, let us begin with realizing that this era is the era of the great adaptation. Especially during pandemic situation, we know that many of life are affected by the virus. Thus, a great adaptation is needed in many aspects of life, including in educational field. Web-based language learning is one of the example of a form of adaptation in educational field. There are some benefits of using web-based language learning. Here I present 2 benefits. The first one, web-based language learning is available anytime, any place to anyone, irrespective time and distance. So in its application, a web-based language learning can not only be used in a formal settings like at school, but also can be used, can support our remote learning that we have experienced right now. Other benefits from web-based language learning is it can help the learners in enhancing the material and language skills from listening, speaking, writing, and other language aspects. It can support a teacher to create and also to have an interactive media in learning. Well, a common web page usually have written text and some image in it. But for a learning web page, we can develop it to be more interactive and interesting. Besides written text and also video, we can also insert types of interactive exercises which are made from certain software. Thus, in this paper, we are going to focus on the development of language learning web page using 2 applications. There are Edit Plus and Hot Potatoes. Probably some of you are already familiar with Hot Potatoes application. But now, before we go further to our discussion, I would like to clarify some terms related to this topic. There are 2 terms. The first one is teaching English as a foreign language, and the second one is computer-assisted language learning and web-based language learning. Now, let's move on to the first terms, teaching English as a foreign language. Many countries which doesn't have English as their first language mostly learn English as a foreign language. A foreign language itself is defined as a language which is not the native language of people in a particular country or region. For example, we are an Indonesian, so our native language is Indonesian. We do not have English as our native language. So English for us is a foreign language. So the term teaching English as a foreign language refers to teaching English to students whose their first language or primary language is not English. For example, as I mentioned before, students from Indonesia or students from Thailand, Japan, and other non-English speaking countries. Okay, and then the second terms is computer-assisted language learning and web-based language learning. Computer-assisted language learning, or CALL, is a learning process using computer for increasing one's language ability. And web is one of the example or one of the topic in CALL. It is understood as language learning conducted on the web using web material and resources. So web-based language learning becomes one of the most popular topics in educational field. Why? Because the first one, it provides an integrative network tool. And the second one, it has potential to increase learners' motivation. Now we come to discussion. In this discussion part, we are going to explore the technological components to create or to develop a language learning web page. There are two techniques that I use. The first one, Edit Plus, and the second one, Hot Potatoes. Let's talk about Edit Plus first. To build a web page, we need to create some command. The command is used to design layout, background, type of words, and other components. And Edit Plus is used to create that commands. It allows the project maker to design a website, insert some videos, pictures, or even insert some links to other websites. This looks like. There are some command here, written here, and then when we saved this command into .html format, then this command will convert into this kind of web page. So this web is the appearance of a website designed using the Edit Plus that we discussed before. That command, we have this kind of website. So here we have three main parts. This website have three main parts. The first one is the header, sidebar, and also the main page. In the header, we can see the we can see the title of the website and also the project maker. On the sidebar, we can have the menu and some button here that we can click, and we can directly go to the explanation and also some exercise. And the main page is the place where the material and exercises are shown in the website. The material here in this website are making a request and asking for permission. And then after this, we have other application. It is Hot Potatoes. Second application is Hot Potatoes. It is an application to create interactive exercises. It provides some types of exercises like multiple choice, short answer, jumbled sentence, crossword, and the other exercises. In Hot Potatoes, there are 5 project makers. As you can see here, there are JClose, JQuiz, JCross, JMix, and JMaths. So each project maker has different function. Now we are going to discuss it one by one, starting from JClose. So this is the example of an exercise created using JClose that I present on the website. JClose is actually an application to create a fill in the blank exercises. The learners will fill the blank spaces here with the most suitable word based on the material that they learn. In this example, it is about recon tax, the Battle of Ambarawa. And then the second feature in Hot Potatoes is JQuiz. It is used to create several types of exercise like multiple choice, short answer, and multi-select. In this project, a multiple choice exercise is used to elaborate more about making requests and asking for permission on exercise 1. And then the third feature is JMatch. It is used to create matching exercise like ordering exercise and categorization exercise. On the example here, the learner is required to match the statement on the left page with the appropriate response on the left side here on the exercise. And then other feature is JMix. It is used to create exercises of scrambled sentences, paragraph, or stories. Here, the learners need to drag and drop the sentence fragment to put them in order. So they can click on the fragment sequentially to put the word together. And then the last, gaming is the last feature because which is JCross. It is not used in this website. So this application, Hot Potatoes, plays an important role in this project. Through many types of exercises created using Hot Potatoes, the students will not easily get bored in doing the task. Now we come to the conclusion. In conclusion, we can say that developing a web-based learning is an essential thing as a form of adaptation in educational world. For example, in this project, we use two types of applications. They are Hot Potatoes and Edit Plus. And by using those kind of applications, there are content which is provided by those two applications. The first one is for teacher. The teacher can create the website as needed so that the content and design would not bother students' focus. And the second one is Hot Potatoes provides many kinds of interactive exercises which has certain benefits for each type to support students' understanding and support students' exploration on the material. And the third benefit, the technologies, those two technologies, Edit Plus and Hot Potatoes, are accessible and easy to be used. So that's all the presentation about the development of web-based language learning using two applications, Edit Plus and Hot Potatoes. Thank you, Ms. Tia.
Thank you so much, Miss Patricia. That was very fulfilling, especially for me. I'm taking call class right now, and that was like an introduction for me before I get to
Yeah,
the web-based one. Thank you, Miss Patricia. Applause for Miss Patricia.
welcome.
Okay, now last but not least, we have our next presentation entitled "The Use of Code Switching in Sunny Dahye's Instagram Captions." This presentation will be delivered by Miss Clara Susanto and Miss Anissa Agra Ingkitajaya from Sanata Dharma University. Miss Clara and Miss Anissa, you have 15 minutes. The time is yours.
Okay, thank you for the given time. I'm Anissa Agra Ingitasna, and my partner later will also present on our research. She's there, Clara. First of all, let us introduce ourselves. We are from Sanata Dharma University. We are on our 7th semester in PBI. So let's start right away. Next, Clara. Yeah, the background information for our research. First of all, yeah, we know that the use of social media increased as a result of the pandemic, because of pandemic, people open social media often. They are advised to do social distancing, but while maintaining on physical distance, they actually try to remain socially connected. And they try to remain socially connected through social media. So what social media would we actually use when we are like alone at home, opening our phone and not connected with other people outside? Like some of them would use Instagram. We often see people use TikTok now, or we use WhatsApp to chat with other people. But then since I do not use TikTok, let's just talk about Instagram now. Well, next, Claire. Yeah, actually the reason why we use Instagram is not because I do not use TikTok, but because Instagram is ranked third in the mobile app with most active users in Indonesia. And then Instagram also provide the users to be able to upload videos and photo with a caption. And then since we can put caption, there is something in this caption that we can learn. We can learn language from the caption in Instagram. So through scrolling down Instagram, like laying on your bed, scrolling down Instagram, you can read some caption and we can actually learn language through the caption. Next slide. So what I want to bring up from the Instagram caption is actually the code switching that appears in Instagram caption. I was just scrolling down just now. I was just scrolling down Instagram and then I saw this this account, you know, it's Shopee, and then it suddenly say like spray tempat tidur, sarung bantal, super single. There's a code switching there. Why do they suddenly use super single, like an English language, in the middle of stating Indonesian stuff? So we are trying to work on that. We are trying to bring up these things. Why do they use code switching while writing caption in Instagram? So what is code switching actually? Code switching, Himes in 1974 explained that code switching is a common term for alternative use of two or more languages. So you are changing the language from one to another uh, in one sentence. Not in one sentence. There a type of code switching you will learn. You will see later on. So we will see the types and the code switching which is actually used in the Instagram caption. And we also talk about Sunny Dahe in this in this research, because Sunny Dahe actually attract a lot of followers. He got around like 750,000 plus followers. Yeah, I don't have that much followers. And then yeah, she's a girl, so she will attract boys, and then she's a beauty influencer, so she will also attract girls. And the point is because we know that Hudson state that people need to be bilingual or multilingual to do code switching, and then we learn that actually Sunny Dahe have a multicultural background. She's from Korea, and then she lived in Indonesia for quite a lot of time. And then she also have an American husband who lived in Japan for quite some time. So there's a multicultural background. So I'm very sure that she can use code switching throughout her caption. And then so the next thing, yes, next Claire. So for through that background, we come up with a research question on what are the types of code switching used in Sunny Dahe Instagram caption. And then the next one is what is the function of the code switching used in Sunny Dahe Instagram caption. So we took these two research questions looking for the types and the function. And then the next thing, yeah, the methodology first. Okay, so the object of the study, we are focusing on the English-Indonesian code switching, which appeared in Sunny Dahe Instagram caption, focusing on English-Indonesian because some of them we also can see Korean-Indonesian or English-Korean, but since we are in, since we are in English community, let's just go with the English-Indonesian code switching. And then the next one is, yeah, the data is actually collected through purposive sampling. So we are choosing Instagram posts based on the existence of code switching, because some posts, they only have English language throughout the caption, but we are focusing on the code switching. So we pick the posts which have code switching in the caption. And then the last one, then the code switching will be analyzed. We actually identify the code switching, the type and the function, and then we classify it using a table of data. Later on, you will see the table of data, and then will be analyzed based on its type and function. So next one, yeah, Clara will be explaining that part.
Okay, thank you, Agra, for the time. Now I will explain about the types of code switching. So the first one is intersentential switching. In intersentential switching occurs outside the clause or the sentence boundary as stated by Poplak. So the example will be in English and Indonesia. The example for intersentential switching, silakan kerjakan tugas yang diberikan. Do it based on the instruction. So these two sentences are in different languages. And then the next one, intrasentential switching. So intrasentential switching based on Rias in 2013 occurs in a single sentence. For example, silahkan kerjakan task yang sudah saya berikan. The main sentence is in Indonesia, but suddenly the word task, which is in English, appear in the middle of the sentence. And then the third one, text switching. Poplak stated that text switching occurs between one language to another language, and it happens on the text phrase or word. Example, cuacanya sangat buruk, right? So cuacanya sangat buruk is in Indonesia and right is in English. The difference is in the that part, the right part. And then the next one, intraword switching. Carol Mayer stated that intraword switching occurs in a word and usually happens in morpheme boundaries. It usually happens in the suffix and prefix of the word. The example tergantung dari conditionnya. So the word conditionnya, condition is in English, but nya is a prefix, but in Indonesia. The next one, we will see the functions of code switching. Based on Gompers, there are 6 functions of code switching. The first one is for quotation. The second one is for address specification. And then the third one is for interjection. The fourth one for iteration. The fifth one for message qualification. And the last one is for personalization versus objectification. This is the examples of the caption from Sunny Daye's Instagram caption that we take. And then after that, we put it in the table, and after that, decide the type and the function of the caption. This is the example of the table that we use. And this is the result after we identify and classify the caption. Based on the type, there are 77% of the caption used intrasentential, and then 19% of the caption used intersentential, and 4% of the caption used intraword. And then based on the function, 43% is for quotation, and then 22% is for address specification, and 26% is for interjection, and 9% is for reiteration. Now, let's discuss the answer for research question 1. What are the types of code switching used in Sunny Dahiye's Instagram caption? The first one, intrasentential switching, 77%. This is the example of the caption that use intrasentential switching. Teman-teman, please wish Grace happy birthday di akun dia ya. This would mean the world to me. Even though she changed the language, it's still understandable. It can be seen because the readers give positive comments to this caption and wish happy birthday to the person mentioned in the caption. Next, intersentential switching, 19%. The example is, see you again soon, sehat selalu ya kak. In this sentence, both sentences have the same topic but in different language. See you again soon is for parting but in English, and sehat selalu ya kak usually used for parting too but in Indonesia. This is not creating any misunderstanding because everyone respond positively to this caption too. Next, intraword switching, 4%. This is the example of the caption that use intraword switching. Makasih udah say hi di pesawat Garuda Indonesia, top notch banget servisnya, bakalan langganan naik Garuda. In this sentence, there is a word service-nya, and the main word and prefix are in different language. So in service-nya, service is in English, and nya is a prefix, but in Indonesia. Sunny knows the use of the prefix in Indonesia. That's why it doesn't give any misunderstanding to the readers. Now, let's analyze the answer for research question 2. What are the functions of code switching used in Sunny Dahiye's Instagram caption? The first one, message qualification, 43%. In message qualification, the main content is in one language, but the extra details is in another language to give emphasis through linguistic contrast. This is the example. Bagi teman-teman yang ingin kami collab lagi, kasih ide di bawah ya, enaknya collab apa. The use of collab is to emphasize the message because Sunny want the readers to have a distinct difference between the Indonesian word and the word collab. The next one, interjection. So 26%. So in interjection, connected with emotional association, also it gives specific expression come to mind more readily in another language. This is the example, last day in Jakarta, well spent with at Rafina Gita 1717. Kak is to call someone older in Indonesia. In English, we use bro or sis, but it is really uncommon in English. That's why Kak used to be more relatable to her followers, which is mostly from Indonesia. Kak also gives specific expression because Raffi and Nagita are older than Sunny, and Raffi and Nagita also from Indonesia. And then the next one, addressee specification, 22%. Addressee specification means that the speaker switched to specify the addressee. This is the example. Teman-teman, please wish Chris happy birthday di akun dia ya. This would mean the world to me. Teman-teman is in Indonesia, and please wish Chris happy birthday in English. Why teman-teman used in Indonesia? The use of the word teman-teman is to be more specific to her followers, which is mostly from Indonesia. And it can create a close relationship between Sunny and her followers too. And then the next one, reiteration, 9%. In reiteration, you repeat or clarify to emphasize a certain message, but in different language. It can be also in different sentence too. The example, wishing you nothing but the best, Pepski. Sehat selalu ya. I'm sorry. Sukses selalu ya. So the first and the second sentence have the same meaning and vibes to it. Wishing you nothing but the best is in English, and sukses selalu ya is in Indonesia, but both of them have the same meaning. And Sunny repeated in different language to give emphasis to the message. Now let's wrap up the results. The first one, the most used type is intrasentential switching. And then the most used function is message qualification. And both of them used to emphasize the message. Sunny tend to use English to give emphasis to the message that they want to really give to the followers, because her followers mostly from Indonesia, so using English to emphasize the message will give more distinct difference. And then the fourth one, the least used type is text switching, because usually text switching used in spoken form. And then the fifth one, the least used function is personalization versus objectification, because this function usually pop up in academic form. After all of this, in conclusion, we hope that this study can contribute in some ways to the development of sociolinguistics, especially in code switching. So this is the references that we use. And that's all from us. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Miss Clara and Miss Anissa. That was very interesting because I didn't know that if I say, oh presentasinya literally keren banget, it's actually a thing in English. In language, I didn't actually know that. So thank you so much. Let's have a big round of applause for Miss Anissa and Miss Clara. And then, since we're done with all of the presenters, we're going to proceed to the question and answer session. Thank you so much for everyone who has sent their questions on the chat room. I'm going to read them one by one now. Okay, let me find it first. Excuse me, I'm sorry. So many chats. Okay, from Miss Clara Ivana to our first presenter, Miss Marcelina. What motivated you to conduct your study presented? Miss Marcelina, you may have your time to answer.
Okay, thank you for the question, Miss Clara. Actually, jokes are the function of joke is to make other people laugh, right? But there is other approach that we should know, especially in language students, because the jokes in the jokes there are pragmatic approach, especially in maxim of conversation. Yeah, that's all. Thank you. I hope I answered your question.
Thank you, Miss Marcelina. I hope that's enough for Miss Clara. Okay, so let's move on to our next question. It's from Miss Friska of Sanata Dharma University for Miss Patricia Rea. What makes you choose those two websites as your object of the study? Would you mind to give some suggestions in choosing a good web as the learning resource for the students? Miss Patricia, you may have your time to answer the question.
Okay, thank you, Friska, for asking the questions. Actually, I would like to clarify first that Edit Plus and Hot Potatoes is not a website. It is the applications or the technology to build the website. So, and the reason why I chose these two applications is because I am a beginner in developing this kind of learning technology. So I started with the simplest and the easiest application so that I can be familiar with some terms in the technology. That is why I chose Edit Plus and Hot Potatoes. And then about your second questions, choosing a good web as the learning resource. Okay. For these questions, I prefer to learn language from the official website, like for example, from Cambridge website. So the things that I can suggest is to find the official website to learn so that the information that you get is trusted and not misleading. That's all for Friska. Thank you, Friska.
Thank you, Miss Patricia. I hope that answers Miss Friska's question. And we have another question for Miss Patricia. It's from Miss Teresia Rosa of Sanata Dharma University. What are the challenges that you face to develop web-based learning to teach English as a foreign language, and how do you cope up with those challenges? You may have your
Okay.
time, Miss Patricia.
As I mentioned before, I am a beginner in this kind of field in learning technology development. So the challenges is about the programming language. Like I present you on the Edit Plus application, there are some commands that we must type to create the website. So that is the big challenge for me as a beginner to develop this kind of learning website. And how to cope or how to overcome this kind of challenges is by talking with the expert and by talking with people who are familiar with this term. Like, for example, I have a lecturer who already familiar with Edit Plus, so I talk with him to try to help me to overcome those challenges. And then, I also learned it from online resource like YouTube. And moreover, some of my friends also working with this kind of project. So we can discuss it together to overcome any challenges that we face together. That's the answer for Teresia. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Patricia.
You're
Okay,
welcome.
so we have another question. I love it when we have so many questions. So our next question is from Mr. Renanda Putra Tanjung. I don't know which affiliation you're from because it's not written. But anyways, the question is for Kak Anissa. Nice presentation, Kak Anissa. That's a code switching, right? It's very energetic. My question is, does code switching appear in other applications other than Instagram? You may have your time to answer, Miss Anissa and Miss Clara.
Okay, thank you for the question. Thank you, Mr. Renanda Putra Tanjung, for the question, and thank you, Miss Tia, for reading the question. Yeah, there's code switching right there, Kak Anissa, in the middle of English sentences. So, yeah, code switching actually appears in many other applications, they also appear when we talk. We can actually see it like everywhere when you see like people suddenly use two language at the same times and those things. Like if you, well, I use Instagram because yeah, I normally scroll down on Instagram for 3 hours, 4 hours a day. So maybe if you use some other application, like when you see Twitter, you can see people writing caption, writing, what do you say in Twitter? Writing tweets in English and Indonesian at the same time. Yeah, that is also code switching. So it appears in other application as well. So I hope that answered the question.
Okay, thank you, Miss Anissa. And we have another question for Miss Anissa and Miss Clara. From Miss Marcelina Hasia of Sanata Dharma University, the question is, why did you choose this influencer rather than other Indonesian influencers? Is there any special reason for that? You may have your time to answer it.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Miss Marcelina, for the question. So why we choose Sunny Dahlia other than Indonesian influencer? Because I like Sunny Dahlia, no. Because we choose Sunny Dahlia because we see the background of the influencer. In this case, Sunny Dahlia has multicultural background and she is really prone to a lot of language, and when she use the language in code and code switching it comes naturally and doesn't give any misunderstanding to the readers and the one who hear what she says. That's why we choose Sunny Dahye.
Is that all? Okay. Thank you, Miss Clara. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, we still have another like 14 minutes for you to ask questions. So if you have any questions, you can maybe use the raise your hand feature on Zoom and deliver your question through the audio, or if not, you can send your question on the chat box using the format that I'm going to send again right now. Wait, where is it? Using the format your name, underscore, your affiliation, and then underscore to whom the question is addressed to, and then the question. Ask as many questions as you can, because after this, you might regret it, you know? Maybe while waiting, I can ask my question because I have some here. It is okay. I'd like to ask Miss Marcelina. Can you hear me? Okay, I have a question. Like you, so from what I got, Grice Maxim is like a set of rules or something like that, right? And in jokes, they're broken to make the joke funny, right? So I was wondering if are there any other situations or settings aside from jokes that make us have no choice but to break those maxims? That's my question. Thank you, Miss Marcelina.
Sorry, can you re-ask again?
Yeah, so from what I've got, the joke when we tell jokes, we are breaking maxims, right? Because it's like a set of rules. And my question is there any other situations or settings aside from jokes that make us have no choice but to break those maxims?
Okay, thank you for the question. Actually, I don't have um, any research about that. I mean, I don't know what other setting rather than jokes who break the rules of who break the maxim. Yeah. So I think it's only in jokes maybe in
Okay.
my research. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Miss Marcelina. Okay. Any other questions, ladies and gentlemen? We have like another 10 minutes. If you have any questions, just send them to the chat room. Or maybe the presenters want to add something, it's okay too. Or maybe ask some of the participants questions. That's okay too. Well, I actually have another question. I'm sorry, I'm so curious. It's for Miss Patricia.
Oh my God, it's for me.
because because your interest because your presentation was really intriguing, and my question is, will you need special training for Edit Plus? Because earlier when I saw the comments, I got really dizzy and I wonder what are we supposed to do with that? I mean, do we need any special training, or maybe for you personally, did you learn to use Edit Plus on your own, or
Actually, I just know this application in from my lecture because I take MOL course. MOL is Mobile Application Language Learning. So we learned about Edit Plus. Yeah, I guess I learned it from MOL. I forget. Yeah. So yeah, I learned Edit Plus in my class with Pak Dwi, if you know. Pak Dwi is expert in technological things like that. So yeah, we learn it together, and I haven't take any special training for this kind of application. But if you want to seriously create the application, you absolutely need the special training because the language we use in developing the website is what we call it, programming language. Yeah, I think, yeah, programming language. So for common people who are not familiar with it, it can be really confusing. So I suggest you to take special training about programming language.
thank you, Miss Patricia. That was okay. So maybe, oh my God, maybe if I want to use Edit Plus, my brain might explode. I'm not good with not
Yeah,
good
but
with
I think
computers.
other applications also need those kind of language. I know several similar applications like WordPad, Notepad, or simple text, and it also needs those kind of language. That's why my website is not really it's not really have much feature because I'm still new in learning that kind of language.
See, thank you, Miss Patricia. Hold on. Okay, are you sure the participants, dear participants, are you sure you don't want to ask any other questions? Our presentations in this parallel session is very interesting. Like the three topics are completely different, so it's very interesting. Oh, Miss Anissa and Miss Clara, I was wondering if, since you're my seniors, will we be learning code switching properly in a course or something, or is it just something that you found somewhere else?
Okay, so we are not the only senior you have here. Actually, Miss Marcelina and Miss Patrician is also your senior.
Also, your
Yeah,
senior.
you will also learn code switching later in semester 6. I'm pretty sure it's in semester 6. It's on a introduction to sociolinguistics. You will learn that in that course.
I'm literally excited banget for that class. Okay, so we have 5 minutes left. 5 minutes left. I'm giving another call for questions. Questions.
Is it your thesis, Anissa and Clara?
Sorry,
Miss,
what,
Is it your thesis or a social linguistic paper, right?
Yeah. It was our social inclusive
Yeah,
paper
our
before.
social
Yeah, and
inclusive
just
paper.
shoot our shoot and yeah, uploaded for the abstract and got accepted.
Yeah, we're lucky enough that it got
Congratulations.
accepted.
Thank you.
Thank you, Is.
Congratulations. Is Miss Marcelina perhaps my senior too?
Yeah, I was graduate. I don't know. I'm from batch 2016. I just graduated last July in 2020.
Congratulations.
It's actually Miss Patricia is also your grade from batch 2015.
We are still a student. We are still
We are
students.
still students.
Maybe because no one is asking questions again, let's take pictures first. Mr. Operator is already waiting. Okay, so I want everyone to turn your camera on. We're going to take group selfies. So, where do I see everyone?
Is it going to be shared, Tia?
Mr. Operator, is it going to be shared?
Oh, exciting since we have 40 participants here.
I think it's going to be shared. I'm not sure. Maybe I can work something out to reach out to you and share the photo. Let's see. Let's just take the pictures for now. Okay, is everyone?
Hey, everyone. I will count on three. Okay. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Once again. 1, 2, 3. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Okay,
Thank you.
we still have 4 minutes. One more time. Are you sure you don't want to ask any more questions while you're here? Literally nggak ada.
Who is the operator?
Who is the operator? Our operator is really very attractive. I'm afraid if we show you on the camera, you're gonna fall for him. No, so no.
Oh, really? Yeah. Show
Show
yourself.
us, show us.
Okay. Oh, it's a question, so it has to be answered, right? It's part of the question and answer session. So, Mr. Operator, maybe you can answer the question.
I'm sorry.
There's a question for you.
Okay. What is the question?
Who is the operator?
Oh, are you guys so curious about me?
Genit banget.
Okay. I will show my face, right?
Okay, sure.
Okay. Hi, guys.
Hi, Mr. Operator.
Hi.
Are you guys pleased with the answer?
Yes.
Okay, so I guess that will be the last question for the question and answer session. If just in case you have any other questions that you haven't got a chance to deliver, you may check the program book and you're going to find all presenters' email address and you can send them your questions there. I'm sure they'll be glad to answer your questions. So with that, we have reached the end of parallel session 4. And hold on. After this, we're going to have lunch break from 12:30 p.m. to 1:30 p.m. And then we'll proceed with sessions with our 5th and 6th keynote speakers. So don't forget to tune back in. The links will be available in the program too, in the program book too. So yeah, I guess that's it. Thank you so much for joining us in room 5. Enjoy the rest of the conference. See you. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.